Now to the legacy of Congressman John Lewis, who fought his entire life to help America live up to its ideals of freedom, justice, and equality. His work began with demonstrations and demands and continued for decades in Washington, where he became known as a conscience of Congress. Congressman Lewis never stopped being an activist. CBS This Morning Saturday co-host Michelle Miller has more on what it took for Lewis to bring us all closer to a just society. Michelle, I know you've known him a very long time. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, John Lewis, the congressman, was instrumental in shaping this nation's freedoms. One of his greatest achievements was the National Museum of African American History and Culture, something he fought for 15 years. He called it a dream come true. He was a living blueprint for change through nonviolence, and many said an effective leader because he lived it.
So it doesn't matter whether we're black or white, Latinos, Asian American or Native American, whether we're gay or straight, we're one family.
John Lewis not only had a way with words.
Get out there and push and pull until we redeem the soul of America.
But was revered for the change his words inspired.
For someone to grow up the way I grew up in the cotton fields of Alabama.
The civil rights titan often discussed his own family's story of rising from the ashes.
Sometimes I feel like crying. Tears of happiness, tears of joy to see the distance we've come.
As a reminder of how far this nation has come and the progress that can still be made.
When people tell me nothing has changed, I just feel like saying, come and walk in my shoes. I will show you.
Lewis was, after all, a man who walked the walk.
We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now.
Fighting against injustice and for racial equality almost his entire life.
I kept saying to myself, how many more young black men will be murdered? And it's my hope that we are on our way to greater change.
Lewis embodied nonviolence. It was a cornerstone in his philosophy.
When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, say something, do something.
He was arrested at least 45 times for peacefully protesting. Good trouble, he called it.
And you only pass this way once. You have to give it all you have.
And he gave all he had. In 1965, Lewis led an historic march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, which sparked the passage of the Voting Rights Act. The brutal crackdown of the protest at Edmund Pettus Bridge, known as Bloody Sunday, was a turning point for Lewis and the nation. He went on to serve as a congressman representing Georgia for over 30 years and became known as the conscience of the Congress. In 2011, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his courage and commitment to justice. President Obama saying this moment,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Was only possible because of the sacrifices Lewis made. In the end, Lewis said that as long as he has breath in his body, he would do what he can, and he did. He fought with humility, and above all, he fought with love. And Congressman Lewis lived by the message that love will always conquer hate, and he always seemed to rise above violence. That was an ideology he shared with C.T. Vivian, another civil rights organizer who worked closely with Martin Luther King Jr. and crossed paths with Lewis in a twist of fate. Vivian passed away the very same day as Lewis due to natural causes. He was 95 years old. Tony?
Yeah, two big losses there. You say he was a lover in addition to being a fighter, and he believed that love would triumph over hate. He was an optimist as well. We should remember that. He wouldn't have begun the fight in the first place if he were not. We should continue that fight as well. Michelle, thank you very much.